Hello, today I'm going to show you how to black border quad chimps for version 28.1, and in order to do this we have to start by going into play social and create challenge, because what we need to do is do a challenge editor run first due to the difficulty of this. Because there is quite a bit of ability timing and placement, doing this for many players will be very difficult and it won't be easy, so doing a challenge editor run is highly recommended, because if you die, you can use the restart last round button and you can make notes of what rounds are difficult for you so you can try them out better. And then when we get into the real guide, you will be a lot more comfortable because you know which rounds are hard and you know what to do. So now we're on in the real game and doing a real black border run. Of course, like last time, we do the 3 dart monkeys to start. On round 7, we put the rightmost dart monkey to strong, and then we can change it back to first and get the 4th dart monkey on round 8. And then on round 9, we get the sniper. The placement for the sniper is very important, and you need to make sure it's exactly like that, or else you will have issues later on when trying to stall. We can put the sniper on first for round 9 and then put it back on strong for round 10, so we make sure we don't die. From here, like last time, we're going to go straight into the ninjas and kind of work around the ninjas, but unlike last time, I'm not going to do snipers for the early game with the deadly precision, but instead I'm going to go for a spike factory and get a spiked balls to beat round 40. This way we can save a little bit of money and have a bit of an easier mid game. So I'm getting these ninjas on each side, and then we'll start upgrading them, and then by the time we get to 24, we will place Jones, and then we can get the sniper upgrades for 28 bloods, and then I'm going to be working on the sub. Now, while these upgrades go down, I would like to remind you that I do have a Discord server, and if you need help, I would be happy to help you and talk with you in there, especially about the game or anything in general. Even if you want some guitar tips, I could give them to you there. So with that, you can get some instant feedback tips, and I usually can see if you're doing something wrong very easily and spot it out. So with that, we can move on, and here we are on round 24, getting Jones. The placement is not super important, but I just like to get him down right before the round ends. That way he can get a little more XP. And then we're going to be placing this sub right here. The sub is just going to be a 203, and I kind of get this guy to help clean up some of the camos and also do enough damage on round 40 so the balls can clean up the rest. So sometimes you might see that I change the sub targeting, usually from close to first or strong to first, and that's just to make it so that the damage around the whole map is more consistent with the sub because it has advanced intel. I'll try to keep note when I do this, but if you see the targeting change, that's why. And with that, we're going to go into a little bit more tricky rounds. These first rounds are really easy. You just have to place things in the right spot, and it's totally fine. So round 35, we have to do a little bit of stuff. And also, if this gameplay is too fast in the video, you can always slow it down with the playback speed to be about half. So on round 35, we have to start getting ready for the very annoying round 36. The sub should just be able to clean up these rainbows very well, but now we get the spike factory, and the placement is very important because all the placements on these sides where we build towers will be extremely crucial. Round 36, you stun ASAP and get the upgrades on the sniper, and then after that we'll have spikes in the back and it can just clean up very well. On 37, in order to eliminate RNG, I stun a lead so that the sniper doesn't have to shoot one more shot and it can help out a little bit. Although sometimes this shot does not hit a lead, it will work out pretty well anyways. And then we go on to round 38. 38, we stun a lead again, just to help clear up for that sniper. And then I'm going to stun a ceramic, but not the first ceramic, that ceramic right there, because if you don't, you might die. Now, 39 is fine as well. We just have to get the spike mines, and then we can get the upgrade. And on round 40, it will look insanely close, but it is not really. If you use the ability at the right time, which I will explain, it will be fine 100% of the time. So with the stun, you can stun the insides to get more damage out of the stun because there's more balloons and the stun has pretty good pierce. So you can do a lot of damage with the stun if you use it very late, but not late enough. So this is especially one thing that you can practice in sandbox mode because the timing is quite important for that. But once you get it down, you can do it every time. I was testing this in sandbox and challenge editor myself, and it was extremely consistent. Now going on to the big round that I was most worried about, which is 43. Now, because of the change where we got the spike balls instead of the deadly precision, 43 is a lot nicer this time because what I can do is get 2 wall fires on the bottom, stun a ceramic, and that will clean up pretty well. What you can do is change the sub to strong briefly and then to first, so you can damage the ceramics a little bit better on the top, which will ease things up. And you can also place this wizard and get fireball right before during 43 to also do a little bit more damage, which helps out. So that will make 43 very easy and very nice. The double wall of fire is pretty good, and I get camo detection on that back wall of fire too. Round 46 can be a little bit scary because round 47 is the next round and we need to save the stun for that. So for these camo ceramics, we just have to, not camo ceramics, fortified ceramics, we just have to make sure that the sub cleans up, which he does, and we will beat that round. Then for this round, we're going to be doing a village and placing the next spack on the bottom side so we can clean up 47. And also we do want to use the stun on 47 as well. I'm using the drop and lock feature just to make sure this village placement is very good because I can't stretch this enough. The placements for this is extremely important. Also, something that you can do just to save a few dollars is buy the discount upgrade before purchasing that spike factory. It won't make much of a difference, but it will make things a little bit easier because you can buy upgrades just a tad faster. Now that we have a discount on the spike factory, it's going to be a little bit cheaper, so we're going to stun ASAP there, and then we're going to get some upgrades. So normally I would get that like while the stuff is coming out, but I got it a little bit later. It's fine. Once you beat the first initial rush of ceramics, everything is pretty good, and then we can get that and we'll work on the second spike factory. If round 47 is getting an issue, what you can do on that top spike factory is get the 320 upgrade for that round, and then you can come back and do the rest of the upgrades on that spike factory later because you don't have the second WAF on the top side. But if you do that, you just need to make sure that on 49 here, you don't get camo detection because you still need money for the other upgrade on that spike factory there on the bottom, and we stun ceramics on that one as well. Now for low battery mode. Now for 50, we're gonna get this village up here. We're gonna get it discounts, and it will be slightly out of range, but once we get the second one, the range will buff the other one. And then we can also use the stun on this round. So we're getting the discounts to get the cheap upgrade and stun on this round, the same as you did on 40. That will be fine. It'll be a bit easier because we have WAF back there, and then we can move on. The rest of these 50s usually are pretty easy. There are some rounds where you have to use your stun at a pretty good time, and then you're gonna just do more placements with new towers. So you just have to keep in mind that pay attention when I stun, and you're gonna have to pay attention to the placements because the placements are extremely important and you'll die later on if you don't get them right. So again, we're doing villages and then we're doing alks, and basically you can run through this, though there is an important stun here. We're gonna stun when these two mobs come together. As you can see, I missed one. If you do it right, you can stun both of them, but that's fine. It's not a very difficult round. So for round 54, there's this really evil Moab that comes out right at the top very early on, so we don't have much spikes there. It does get pretty close like this, but what you can do is change that sub to strong so it focuses only on that Moab, and then right after it gets stunned, you can change it back to first so it continues to focus the insides of that. That's very, very good to do. And on round 55, I do an amazing move, besides getting this bomb, because that is a pretty good move, but not that, I decide to not use my stun ability, which is a very bad idea because it gets extremely close. So use your stun ability when the ceramics actually come out, so you stun them instead of like not doing that. So just do that and you'll be fine. And then after that, we can get some of these bomb upgrades and everything will be good. And continuing on, it will be pretty easy all the way up to 63 and 64, which I will come back for. Alright, so for 63, you just stun ASAP. It will go somewhere, but generally it can help out pretty well with one of the areas. And then after the first wave, it clears out. With the stun, everything is fine because you have so many spiked balls on each side. And after that 64, we're gonna have to get these bomb shooters. So the Moab maulers are coming in, and with the discounts, they're pretty cheap, but because of the nerf, they're a little bit more expensive, sadly. So because we have the primary mentoring, we can get them to 130. Yep, I get that cross path because it's free. Very good. And then I'm just going to be doing a stun and then getting this guy ASAP. I would recommend stunning a fortified Moab, though, when that comes out because it has a lot more value. It did get a little close-ish, not very close, but if you stun the fortified Moab instead, it's much better. And then it's going to be extremely easy all the way up. We just buy upgrades and let the spike balls soak in literally everything. If there are any rounds in between that do get kind of close, you can use stun as long as it's not needed for the next round, and that will literally be fine. I'm doing the Omega fast forward and going all the way up to the next hard round. Now we have round 75 here, and as you can see, I'm very into placing this one alchemist that I forgot round 75 is in here, and this is a round we have to use a stun, and as you can see, I completely forgot to do that, and it got a little close. So just make sure that you use the stun early on in round 75, and then if you want to, you can also get one back for 76 later on. But now that's that done, and I forgot to use the stun to make a close round, we can just move on, and that will be pretty easy. 78's very easy because you have so much spiked mines, and we can just move on with that. So I am continuing to get many of these upgrades during these rounds. I am doing it in fast forward because the only thing that you need to know for these rounds is where to place it and what upgrades to get. Everything else is completely free all the way up until like 93 when we start having to do stuff, which I will commentate. But if you want to slow it down, that's fine. You can just do the playback speed and that will be good. So now moving on, we'll be getting into the 90s soon, and starting on 92, we're going to be using our first abilities. So all these rounds are easy, and for the 90s, when it comes to using the stun, you can kind of just spam it, but when we start doing the stall with this downdraft, you can no longer spam it. So around 92, got these UMGs, it's fine, we can just use stun and use the level 20 ability. That will be perfect. Now on round 93, I'm going to be getting this ice up here and this downdraft. Its whole goal is to blow back ceramics into the ice. We use Sabo on 93, but as you can see from this example, I blow back the ceramics into the ice, and I do cut out the stalls because they're like 1 minute long and they're extremely boring. But what you do is just stall the ceramics in the ice monkey to get the abilities back, and that's fine. And then for 94, we use the Sabo and the level 20. Now, the thing with the Sabo is that it only affects the first balloon. So what I usually do is Sabo a little bit early so that the ZOMGs are slow and they all kind of clump up. And then when it wears off, we can hit the level 20 ability to just eat up everything inside. And that usually works out pretty well. The DDT rounds are completely free. You can just use your Sabo level 20 alternatively and get a few Moab assassins out there as well. With the mortar, you do mortar micro, top and bottom. Also pretty simple. You can do that and use abilities in between. For round 96, we Sabo early so that the fortified DDT rush does not kill us. And then once that finishes, there's going to be the ZOMGs, which are alone and they're pretty easy to take out. So we can use the Moab assassins and do the level 20, get them back as well, and use them again. 97, sometimes you cannot get the stall in this round, so I don't use the level 20 ability, but instead I just hit the assassins once, and that works out very well. All the other rounds we can get a stall extremely easily, though. And I forgot to cut out that part of the stall. Anyways, moving on, just pound the abilities, and then you want to retarget the mortar to where these ZOMGs will break, and that's fine. This round's pretty easy to take care of. And then for round 98, we're going to use the Sabo early so that we get the most use out of that one layer rule with the Sabo. And then when the insides come in, we can use the level 20. And again, using the assassins all throughout, they cut a lot of RBE, which is very good. And then we're also doing the mortar micro top and bottom as well, and spamming the concussive shell with that. This will beat round 98 pretty easily. And then round 99, you literally just completely spam everything, and you just watch it get demolished, which is really cool. Now, for round 99, you need to make sure you finish the stall so you get your abilities back. And then with that, you can sell the very leftmost bush thing. And then with that, we use all of our assassin abilities once. So we should have 7 of them when we finish that. And then they'll come back again. We use another 7. And then after that, once you use all 7, you use the level 20 ability to get them back again. We can use all of that, and then once you finish that round, you want to Sabo and use the stun because the DDTs will come out. And also, as you can see, we're doing the 100 right now. You want to move the downdraft heli back to above where the spiked balls are, so that you can blow back some of the ceramics to make it a little bit easier on the spiked balls. But anyways, that will beat quad chimps. Generally, the late game is extremely easy if you have good micro management. So that's why you want to do the challenge editor run first, just to kind of get the hang of it. but if you're good with the micro, it will be extremely easy. And as you can see, the rounds just get demolished because Moab maulers are that good, despite getting some nerfs. And that is your Quad Chimps black border in version 28.0. And we are the DDT Destroyer. Very, very nice. So that's that, and I hope it helps you. If you're having any issues, you can talk to me in my Discord server, and I will do my best to help you out. And anyways, goodbye, good luck, and I hope you get this black border.